Hey guys, I share Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. Phantom Shogun Grove, stage 25, 100% rare team, no clickbait, no BS. Quick video for you guys today. I want to deliver on a popular request by you guys in the comments. I see you. Phantom Shogun Grove and Sand Devil, more accessible teams. The last time that I put out a video on these dungeons, it was really, you know, the week or two after they were released. So
look at my son. Pride is not the word I'm looking for.
I figure it's long past overdue for an updated, more accessible team and guide for you guys. Even if you're not free to play, or even if you're a spender, maybe you want to make a team using this core composition as inspiration, because the best thing is it's very flexible, right? There's only really one, or I guess two champions in this comp if you want to stay all rare that are necessary, that you need to have. The rest you can sub in and out, and we'll talk about other substitutions that you guys can go ahead and use. So let's go ahead and show you the run first, and then we'll get into all the specifics, all the builds. So again, Phantom Shogun Grove, stage 25. This is the squad that we're using here. We have a War Maiden, Cold Heart, Paragon, Gnarlhorn, and Reliquary Tender. Gnarlhorn does need to be in the lead. I'm going to go ahead and show you again all of the builds in just a moment here, but let's quickly look at both the speeds and the setup. Gnarlhorn shutting off A2, A3, his A1. He can't be strong, critical, or a weak hit, which is really nice. He's at a 182 speed. We have Paragon shutting off the A2 at a 178. We have Reliquary Tender, the fastest on the team, at 289, going in with the A1 opener and then prioritizing the Tender's Watch after that. We have Cold Heart at 211 speed, and then we have prioritizing the A3. Then we have War Maiden at 211 speed as well. Now, really quickly, actually, I'll go over the speed ranges on all of these after we show you the run, but let's go ahead and do the run right now. Obviously, with this setup, it's full auto after that. It's 100% success rate. It's nice and dependable. Let me make myself a little bit smaller here. Because of the champions that I'm using, right? It's not going to be the fastest run in the world. It's going to be around 4 minutes or so, but we can make it a lot faster, essentially by replacing War Maiden with another Cold Heart. If we have 2 Cold Hearts on our account, I do have 2 Cold Hearts, but I didn't want to use dupe Cold Hearts because I knew you guys in the comments would be like, Ash, I don't have 2 Cold Hearts or whatever, you know? You can also use, you don't even need any Cold Hearts, honestly. You can use an enemy max HP champion, a Husk, for example, would be great. Royal Guard works as well. So really, those are just DPS slots on the team. Gnarlhorn is a great tank for this team. Again, he has the dungeon aura as well. We don't even need his A2, his A3. Paragon is instrumental to this team, and so is Reliquary Tender. If you don't have Reliquary Tender, though, you can use any cleanser with a 3-turn cooldown, right? There's a lot of them out there in the game. She is the only rare. So if you want to be an all-rare team, have an all-rare team, she's going to be imperative, because basically what we're doing here is we have the speed set that Reliquary is going to be in there to cleanse the team, cleanse the enfeebled off of everybody right before the Phantom Shogun goes, and then we just keep feeding the unkillables vis-a-vis the Paragon cheese to Gnarlhorn, right? I could get into all the details and all the ratios, but really that's all you need to know. Again, we can speed this up. I've seen this done sub 2 minutes, right? Just need more DPS. Now, I want to talk about the awakening on these, the blessings on these champions, because that is a big factor, and that is going to help dictate who you use. You may have noticed here, I have War Maiden fully awakened, right? That's the only reason I'm using her here. I could use a Cold Heart who's not fully awakened as well, but we need to make sure that we always have our eye here on the shade, right? So that's why it's going to be very important to utilize champions that are fully awakened, or at least have 3 or more awakened levels. You may have noticed on my squad, though, I have Paragon with no awakened at all. He's been on my 2-time wish list forever, so you can get by with 1 or 2 without being fully awakened, but you do need to compensate on that and put some high awakening champions on the squad as well, okay? So you guys probably get the point here. Let me come back at you when we're at the end of this run. Then we'll go over all the builds and talk about the speed ratios and the priorities. I do want to give a massive shout out to a couple creators. I took some inspiration from a couple different YouTube content creators for today's video. Biohack, Raid Shadow Legends, and Blazin, both creators who I was actually not familiar with, right, before making this video. So I want to give a massive shout out. They have multiple videos out there covering really cool kind of end game dungeons using rare champions, which I think is amazing. So I'll have a link to both of their channels in the description below. Massive shout out to both of those guys. So I'll come back at you in about a minute or less, and we'll go over the builds. All right, guys, so that one went a little bit longer than I'd had in testing, but either way, you can see the result here. Obviously, Cold Heart, you know, carrying the brunt of the damage. Let's talk about the most important things when it comes to these builds, right? First and foremost, masteries are not required on any of these champions, okay? If anything, masteries might screw you up. For example, I had Reliquary Tender built with, what does she have on her? She had, I actually had her coming down here with Timely Intervention. You absolutely do not want that. You don't want Rapid Response. You don't want Arcane Celerity. Anything on any champion that's going to mess up their speed, you don't want that. The kind of the clan boss rules, unkillable rules. And again, you can get by with no masteries on any of these champions on this team, okay? So let's talk about these champions. The 2 DPS, right? The Cold Heart, and in this case, the War Maiden. Again, I'm not going to go over masteries because they don't matter. That being said, I guess you could just pick up War Master, right? You know, as a tier 6 on these champions, which you might already have anyway. So we want these speeds to be from 205 to 218. They also need some survivability. By the way, the little kitten, he is growing up. Little guy is not little anymore. He's a big guy, and he's in my face in the middle of the video. So again, DPS, we want 205 to 218. We also need enough HP to keep them alive, but also we don't want them to pull aggro. So I like to aim for around 40k, 45k HP on everybody, okay? Other than that, again, 205 to 218. Okay, on Gnarlhorn, right? Total stats here. 182 is what we have him at right now. We want 180 to 188. Anywhere, you know, kind of aim for the middle. It will work for you guys. The most important thing on him is crit damage, right? We need him to have the highest crit damage on the team, okay? 100%, he needs to be the highest crit damage or this will not work, okay? He has to survive the first hit, so make him tanky enough to take that first hit as well. You know, retaliation gear is really nice on this guy as well. Revenge, anything works. I have in terms of sets on any of these champions, I just have them in like whatever because I wanted to get the, you know how it is, speed tuning. I just wanted to get the speeds right and I didn't care about anything else, okay? Reliquary Tender, as I mentioned, you're probably going to have her in triple speed. She's going to be the fastest on the team. She needs to be 286 to 290, okay? Again, any cleanser will work, but the cleanse needs to be on a 3-turn cooldown. Same deal. We need them with enough HP to be able to not pull aggro, avoid targeting. Some defense is nice as well. I aim for around 2,300, 2,400 defense. Again, 286 to 290 on the speed. So that's probably going to be the highest or the most difficult thing for a lot of players out there is getting that fast enough on the cleanser. Of course, a little bit easier with Artifact Ascension now, right? Accessory Ascension, which is why we're making a team like this. We already talked about Cold Heart and stuff, but the same thing in terms of survivability, right? We have 36k, we have 2,000, that's totally fine. She's cool. And last but not least, guys, we have Paragon, right? So Paragon, pretty easy as well. 176 to 178. 176 to 178 speed. Toxic Set is really cool on this dude. Obviously, you'll get even more damage. So Toxic Set is probably the way to go if you care about your artifact set. But again, after that, it's just survivability. So there you go, guys. That's the entire run. I showed you the setup, I showed you the run, I showed you the team, showed you the builds. Remember, no mastery is required. Make sure you don't pick anything that's gonna mess with your speed tuning, and you'll be good to go. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.